Alright, YouTube and Elder Scrolls community. So I came across a discussion about Elder Scrolls 6 and whether or not they should improve upon the stealth system. This article is on Gamingbolt.com. They actually have a YouTube channel with like 400-something thousand subscribers, so they're a decent-sized channel. Didn't even actually know that they had a website till this article popped up in when I was searching around for Elder Scrolls 6 stuff. So, pretty cool. Anyways, let's talk about it. The Elder Scrolls 6 won't be here for at least a few more years yet, but in spite of that, we're always thinking about what Bethesda can do to make sure that the game is an improvement on the already awesome Skyrim. There's a lot Bethesda got right with Skyrim, and they managed to push the series to its limits in a lot of ways with the game, but there are still areas where we feel the series can improve. One such area is stealth. The Elder Scrolls 6 is not, obviously, a series that relies too heavily on stealth mechanics, but it does rely on them sometimes, and it's a shame to see that stealth is handled in the Elder Scrolls rather clunkily. That's a weird word. It is, first and foremost, very cut and dry, with not much complexity to the mechanics, not to mention the fact that the mechanics surrounding the stealth, such as how the environment or the surrounding characters react to it, are also not too strong. And see, this is where we differ in opinion, at least for me. I think that the environment's actually pretty good in Skyrim, because like, depending on what you're wearing, like, if you're wearing heavy armor or light armor, you're detected easier when sneaking. If you, like, walking around, you're crouched down, sneaking around, trying to come up behind an enemy, and you accidentally kick a fucking bucket or something across the room, they actually react to it. They go, oh, what was that? What was that? And they'll come to that area looking for whatever made that sound, potentially you, or whatever the NPC might think it is. So I think the environment's actually beneficial. Now, I don't know necessarily if the surface matters. I think when you're running on, like, stone and shit like that, you're a little bit louder than if you were on dirt, and especially if you run through water, the splashing and stuff. So I think the environment is actually very alive when it comes to sneaking in Skyrim. One way to fix the stealth mechanics would be to maybe include a system based on disguises. For instance, if you want to sneak into an enemy fort or encampment, rather than having to fight your way through hordes and hordes of beasts and soldiers, imagine having the option of donning the outfit of that particular faction. It's not an entirely groundbreaking or even unique feature, but it is something that could work very well in a game like The Elder Scrolls. Not only would such a system help boost things like interactivity, immersion, and player agency, but would also help lend some much needed depth to the threadbare stealth mechanics we all saw in Skyrim. This is not, once again, an issue that is very pressing or in need of immediate attention from Bethesda, but it is certainly one that could use major improvements. Again, I think it's a bit much to hate on the stealth mechanics of Skyrim this much. Like, to call it threadbare, it was not that bad of a stealth mechanic. Again, we've already talked about what you're wearing matters, what you're running on matters, the speed at which you're sneaking matters, or if you're running matters. If you happen to kick items or throw items, it matters, because you can distract the enemies. You can shoot an arrow to distract the enemies. Like, it wasn't this god-awful linear experience that Bethesda just kind of threw on top of Skyrim. Like, hey, let's throw in a couple little jokey stealth things, guys. No, like, they put some time and effort into this. This is pretty good. There's actually, an entire sneak skill tree that you can, progress on if you want to. Just like with the Fallout games, there's always a sneak stat. I'm not sure if they're just, like, comparing the Skyrim stealth mechanic to, like, actual stealth-based games like Metal Gear or something like that. Like, you can't expect them to make an entire stealth game inside of Skyrim. There's so much more to this game than just sneaking around. There's a huge fucking world to explore and a ton of things to do. Now, I will agree with the faction-based armor thing. This is something I've pushed on my channel for a long time. I was talking about it leading up to Fallout 4's release. I talked about it for Fallout 5, and now I'm talking about it for Elder Scrolls 6. New Vegas did this. It was fantastic in New Vegas. It wasn't like super in-depth, but it was a really cool thing. Like, you could throw on like Legion armor and walk up into a Legion location, even if the Legion hated you. Now, I do believe if you tried to engage anyone in dialogue, they'd recognize you and attack you right away. But for the most part, you could walk around the place safely. And this is something that could really work in the Elder Scrolls series. The only problem is, if we're looking at Skyrim as an example, everybody in the world kind of wears generic armor. Like, you attack a bandit camp, and they're wearing like steel armor or iron armor. You attack like the Forsworn, they're wearing like that kind of cloth armor. It might be Forsworn. Actually, it might be called Forsworn armor. I don't remember. But for the most part, they wear generic armor. So they'd actually have to introduce faction-specific clothing for this to work. But I'm all for it. Now, I've defended the Skyrim stealth in this video plenty, but of course it can be improved upon. Pretty much anything in any game can be improved upon. Nothing's ever really perfect. And I don't want to see the exact same stealth in Elder Scrolls 6. I think the easiest way they could do this is to make, like, the sound thing matter. So, like, if you're running on wood, ground, dirt, water, whatever the case, or sneaking it on those surfaces, it makes a little bit different sound. The armor obviously should matter. I'd also like to see, just a side note, I'd like to see light, heavy, and medium armor. They only had light and heavy. They just kind of skip medium armor. But I like each type of armor to have a different kind of sound effect. So, like, say you're wearing 2 pieces of heavy armor and the rest are medium, it's louder than if you were wearing just all medium armor because you have those 2 pieces of heavy. So something like that would be great. And then, of course, the faction-based stuff and like sound things like the bucket. Like we use the bucket as an example. Throwing items should work a lot for stealth, everything like that to distract the enemies. Stealth kills, they already have that in Skyrim. It'd be kind of cool to see more stealth kill things in Elder Scrolls 6. But really, I think it's good. They just need to improve upon it a little bit, and I'll be satisfied with the stealth in Elder Scrolls 6. As always, let me know your thoughts below, guys. Did you enjoy the stealth in Skyrim? Did you like it? Did you think it was crap? People got to remember, too, man, this game is pretty old. They started development on Skyrim right after Fallout 3 released in 2008, and it released in 2011. So this game, as of right now, is like 6 years old. If you include the development time, it's damn near 10 years old. Pretty old game, and it's a huge and fantastic game that's still talked about to this day. So I don't think the stealth was that bad since it wasn't really the focus of the game. But would you also like to see them improve upon it in Elder Scrolls 6? Would you like a super in-depth stealth system for Elder Scrolls 6? Or just kind of keep it like it is with Skyrim, but a little more improved? Let me know your thoughts on all that below, guys. If you want to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Follow me on Twitter. Links to my social networks are in the description. And the outro. Later, guys.
Till it comes to conclusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place. 'Cause I want you.